Welcome back to the Global Builder's Guide, episode 7. I'm Enigmaus, and today we're doing a bit of an update. Not going to be a very long one today, just because it's not. We're here in the Jello Forest, yet again, surveying the progress that we've made, which is over in this area. It's one of those things that doesn't seem like a lot. I'm going to tell you that story. And then we've got a couple of new structures to take a look at, and we'll head over there. First thing I want to do, though, is the one thing I've been working on since the last episode is a hybrid GPS host relay computer. So we did all of this stuff, building all these towers. We got our turtle. We taught it how to build these towers. And then we set computers on all of them. The idea is the computers would act as GPS hosts so that the turtle or any other device could send out a message saying, help me find where I am. And as long as they were in range, the GPS hosts would say, here's some information, and my 3 other friends will send you some information. And with all that information, you can calculate your location very precisely. Very handy for locating turtles, as opposed to having to constantly hunt them down and enter their coordinates manually. It's just a pain in the butt. Very important. Well worth the 4 ender pearls that you will spend on the wireless modems to get these guys set up. The reason why I wanted to do this is because we had these guys as the GPS hosts, and I had the GPS thing all set up, and the turtle knew where he was, and it was fantastic. And then I realized it was kind of a shame that we've got these computers with wireless modems way up on these platforms to take advantage of the extra range you get the higher up you go. And then we've got this little dork here on a nerd pole basically providing a similar function, but he's handling the private networking end of things. So these guys are handling just GPS calls, and then this guy is handling all the other messages we're sending on the network between, for example, the central computer and the turtle. So if we could combine the two, we would get much more range on our network without having to spend twice as many ender pearls for wireless modems. So that was really what kind of kept me going on this little end of things. And this is what I've come up with over here. This is the 4th computer that we added. And you can see wireless modem connected on right side. The device label is GPS Relay 9. It's on channel 9. And the first message that it receives is always the first message it sends out, which in this case is the registration message it sends to the central computer saying, here I am, this is what I am, this is where I am, add me to the list sort of thing. In this case, it's listening, it's basically talking to itself. We don't necessarily want that, however, because there's never really a reason where we would want the computer to send out a message and immediately capture it for itself. And by having it do that, we're just creating more network traffic. And I'm trying to keep in the back of my mind that compared to some of the things you can do with like a mod, it's very, very hard with Computercraft to bring a server to its knees, but you still can. And I don't want to be that guy who just writes really sloppy code that takes up all this extra processing power so that people can't enjoy the game because it's so damn slow, and I'm contributing to that. So we're going to filter this out so it's not basically sending its own messages twice, and that'll be gone. Then we've got a message that we received, ID 0 from channel 7. That's one of the old GPS computers. Now I added an ID system, but it's the old system where it starts at 0 and then just keeps counting up to 99 and then drops back down to 0 again. So this guy will be updated to the new message ID format, which is the game day with the dash and then the game time. And that's all compiled when the message is sent out. So the way this works, you will never have a duplicate message ID for the same device naturally generated. So anytime you send out a message with this ID and the channel, if that another computer gets that same message with the same ID, it knows it's a duplicate, always guaranteed. So clever, and it looks snazzy. It looks important with the dash and the dot and the stuff in there. It looks like, someone worked really hard to fake something, but it's actually real. It's a real thing. And then down here, we've got the turtle. It's relaying a message from the turtle to register with the central computer. Perfect. We don't need it to in this case, but there's really no way for this guy to know that, oh, by the way, I don't need to send this because the turtle already got it to the central computer. Its job is just to receive messages, from other devices and then send those messages back out again, and that's exactly what it's doing. Very, very happy with that. And then you can see down here, it's handling the GPS requests as well. So the way the turtle works is it sends out a request for GPS information. Channel 2 is the turtle. If it gets a response, it moves once and then requests the GPS information again, and then compares the two sets of coordinates to find out the direction that it's facing. So not only does it know where it is in the world, it knows automatically what direction it's facing in the world. Perfect. That's exactly what we want it to be doing. So that's been the tech side of things, is managing what's going on with the turtle. He knows where he's going, getting rid of the extra computer there, and trying to do it without losing our minds. See, what happened was, I had this all set up, and it wasn't consistent with the way it was receiving messages. It would receive, for example, messages from the turtle or the relay computer, no problem. The messages from the GPS end of things that this turtle was sending quite often wasn't being received. It wasn't showing that it was receiving that kind of message, and then sometimes it would work. And I thought, okay, I've got it fixed. I don't know what I did, but it's working. And I would go take a break. I would come back, log into the game, and it wouldn't be working. And I'd get it working, and then it wouldn't be working. And it was just for 2 days like this, until I realized that I had found some inconsistencies with the way the modems were working, just the way that, the things come from computer craft. But 99% of the problem was that I was being too greedy in opening all of the different communication channels. I was trying to open them all at once, and you have to open them one at a time. And because of that, I was only opening the first one, and then I would get it to work with the irregularities somehow hacked and botched together, but not consistently. Figured out my error, fixed it, and the end result is something that works much to my satisfaction. So enough of that. Enough tech talk. Let's go look at some structures. We're going to look at the intermediate outpost that I showed you in the last episode. I've been busily working on that, at least as much as I can. You can see it's got a roof. It's got a nice domed roof out of dirt. Yes, it's made out of dirt. I think this was a creeper. Yeah, this was a creeper up here that I shot, and he died. There's a spider in the house. It's not very nice. Anyways, I put this roof on. It will be made... The idea is that it should be made out of glass. Other people, if they're building this, they might want to substitute another material, and that's fine. But my goal is to have this made out of glass. But as always, I prototype out of dirt because it's readily accessible, and I can break it and put it back and do all kinds of crazy things to it. Whereas if I did this all out of glass now, every time I place a block in the wrong spot, I would have to break the glass, and then it goes away. So this won't all be one material. But one of the things that I noticed is when it is all made out of one material, it starts to resemble kind of like a turtle. Like, this is the shell of the turtle. And then it's got the legs, the big bulky legs, and they've got kind of the weird elbows that go up in the air sort of thing. And then the head is pulled into the shell. So we got legs, then we got the shell, and then I realized, no, I am not putting a turtle head on this. Just saying it now. If you want one, wait till the scripts are ready and put it on yourself. I heard that spider, and he's going to pay. Get out of my house, spider. The pig's okay. He's just kind of hanging out here, behaving himself, so he's fine. So we've got the roof on. It's going to be glass eventually. The only other thing that I have left to do in here is put in the second floor, which is basically going to be at about the level these lights are at now. The idea being, above this point here, like, you can reach one more block, but anything above that point is just dead space. It's wasted. It's not doing anything. So we're going to put in a second floor, and the one thing that I thought to add is a cutout on the second floor so that you can put a full-size computer craft monitor like we've got over in my little wood sort of enclosure. You can put one in here and have it set up so that you can stand on the second floor and reach every block on the monitor. The reason being, if this is sort of like an intermediate outpost that you're building, you're a little bit farther into the game, you've had some time to gather up some materials, probably going to want to move up to an advanced computer craft monitor, which first of all is a color screen, very handy. You can relay information by just by the color of text, which is very useful, but also it has the touch screen functionality. So if you can touch a spot on the computer, you can interact with it that way instead of just using really sort of archaic scrolling text menus on the terminal itself. So the entire screen becomes the interface that you're using to control your construction network, which I think is really, really cool. It's one of the most exciting features about this whole project, but I have to get the groundwork in first before I can start working on that. And the idea of having this structure and ignoring the use of having that full-size monitor in here seemed kind of silly. So that's why we're going to build it with the idea in mind that you're going to be putting one of the big monitors in here. And then if you realize you don't want to do it anymore, you don't like the computer craft stuff, then you just fill in the little cutout. It's not a big deal. You'll have a whole second floor undisturbed by computer craft stuff, if that's what you want to do. So that's all I have left to do. Second floor, cutout for the monitor, Bob's your uncle. And then I just have to, like I say, this will be the test bed for the survey features of the Turtle, which will be the program that I start writing once I get all the little minor kinks worked out of the existing builder program, and also once I get the basic central computer stuff finished. So aren't that far off from starting work on the survey program. Now the last thing we're going to look at here is a new tower, and here comes a skeleton. My bow is better than yours. Oh, the Enderman. It's Ender Pearls. That's there. Look at, see? And another one. Oh, creeper. What a jerk. We're going to go above the danger to look at this. This is a tower, and I came up with the idea that if we've placed ourselves in a position where we can have the GPS hosts and the relays all in one computer. We know that we get more distance, more range out of them if they're up in the air. So it would be nice if we had a tower that could go way, way up in the air. For those cases where we're dealing with sort of like average land height, like this isn't particularly high, you can use the other towers for putting them on mountains, or if you don't really need a lot of range. But if you're wanting range, it would be nice to have a tower coordinate file set aside for something like this. So I came up with this. We'll get the moon around on this side so that it's a little bit easier to see. It's sort of like a double helix design. As you go up and down, it's got sort of the spinning sort of weirdness. It's kind of mesmerizing to look at. And this will basically go, just to give you an idea, we're going to use the, about this high, actually. Seems to be about right. So if I were over here on the finished tower, I would be standing on the top of it right now, which is, you can see, some pretty good elevation. And the whole idea is we could even go higher. I'm thinking we might. It's just one of those things. The thing is, I want to leave a little bit of leeway so that it's not going too high. If someone does happen to decide to build it on the tallest mountain they can find, you know, we don't want that to cause problems. But we do definitely want some elevation, and as you can see, it's considerably above the towers that we've already built. But I like the design, and oh no, give that back. That was my glove that I just accidentally threw down. Well, there it is. We're good. Okay. I kind of messed with the idea of putting in extra columns here, and the whole idea... What a dick. Trying to do stuff here. The whole idea of putting the extra columns, you can see there's 4 of them around the central column, so that we put a ladder up here, and the columns on either side are kind of like guardrails to keep you from falling off either side. And then I realized it looks kind of clunky. First, it takes up too much space in the middle and takes attention away from the helix sort of thing. And then also, if someone is starting down at the bottom of this tower, and by about the 10th, oh, Enderman, by about the 10th block up, they haven't got themselves stabilized to the point where they can just hold up and climb the tower without having to worry about falling off, they probably deserve to fall off and learn a lesson or two anyways. So I'm not going to make my tower ugly in order to cater to that nonsense. I'm getting distracted. I don't like it when monsters come after me, and I don't like it when Endermen don't just walk up and give me their pearls. It's a thing. I can't help it. But we got a cool tower. So there we go. So the next episode, we should have a little bit more by way of a proper, adequate status display on the central computer. Not just these are the registered devices, but what are the registered devices doing? What have I been doing? You should be able to look at the computer and get an idea of what's been going on. And then we should have prototype turtle building at least this. We can't do this with the turtle until we get it surveyed, but I should have the coordinate data file in here so that a turtle can duplicate this tower and use that to work out all of any last remaining kinks to do with the design of that particular script. And then we can move on to the really neat stuff where things start to show up in color and think for themselves and take over the world. So by all means, leave your comments and feedback in the comment section below the video. Thanks for watching, guys, and take care.